What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Ken Ross presented. Yeah, I said it podcast, brainchild of my child. I am the dad half of this operation, Ross Cooper. As always, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folk.
She was a good cat. My bad, dog. Yeah, what's good, y'all? Somebody having a good day, month, year, hour, second, all that good stuff. Watching on other platforms, please share with your friends, family, pets, bug on your wall, and all that good stuff. If you watching on YouTube, please like, share, comment, subscribe, because if you don't, you might end up where Queen Elizabeth is.
That was an unintentional moment of silence on my part. Like, really, dog? Really? You just gonna just straight out
Hey,
the gate, huh? Just straight out the gate.
hey, I mean, Twitter got me messed up, man.
Where's your respect for the dead, my G?
Oh, respect for
Where's
the
your
crown.
humility? Where's
I
you know what I
got kissed
mean?
the
Like
ring.
saying, like, come on, man.
What did Run the Jewels say? Kill your masters?
Okay, so we just gonna jump right in. It is September 9th, 2022. As of yesterday, Queen Elizabeth has died. And the reactions, ooh boy, you learn a lot. You learn a lot. Sometimes just sit back and watch, see what happens. And Twitter and Black Twitter has gone all the way off. And the thing that always got me as a kid, right? As I said, I was raised in the '80s. The obsession with the British royal family. What we're not going to do here is give you a civics lesson. What we're not going to do is give you a super deep history lesson. But this country's always been obsessed with what the Brits were doing. Then it occurs to me, wait, if we're keeping score at home, America is what? Britain's bastard child. You know, that whole War of Independence, 1776, blah, 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 blah. And then Diana, Princess Diana, who was tragically killed, she was kind of like, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do when I'm here. I'm not really with the shits. So I love my boys. That's not. You can kind of see her influence in Harry because Harry was like, yo, check it out. If y'all gonna be racist to my wife, to my black wife, I'm good. I'm just gonna be out. Peace. So to say Britain has a history of, I don't know, racism and colonization and horrible shit might be a bit of an understatement. One of the reasons I'm not going to sit here and give you a elaborate history lesson is because I literally didn't have time. If you go and Google right now, British atrocities in, you're going to see like 5 or 6 different countries at least, and it's a long list of shit. It's China. It is India. They did the people in India just dirty. It is Africa. Lot of shit. Just so it's interesting seeing, and I'll be honest, this is just what I've seen. Every sympathy post, white Brits. Almost every sympathy post I've seen comes from white British folks. Every rest in piss, as my co-host would say, post pretty much came from non-white folks. It was quite a few white folks too. Like, yeah, fuck out of here.
It was white
So,
folks, white folks in Britain said rest in peace. Oh yeah, don't get me started about the Irish people. That's funny.
oh, the Irish ain't. Yeah, they ain't. It's like, do we? A really good poetry friend of mine, one of the greatest poets you will ever meet, Lamar Hill, had a line in a poem. He was talking about when I die. I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, when I die, don't lie. Just speak over the body honestly, which means, in layman's terms, look, don't sugarcoat shit. When I'm gone, I'm gone. Tell the truth. Tell the good, tell the bad, say what it was. Tell the truth. That's why, pivoting just a little bit, all these ashy Negroes had such a hard time when sisters were celebrating Kevin Samuel's death. Like, no, we're gonna tell the truth. You were a borderline piece of shit. Your message was toxic. We're going to tell the truth. So
Okay,
all of this,
we
so
just
all of this sympathy for the
uh,
queen it's like, yo, if we're gonna tell the truth about the empire you ran, it's a lot of blood in your hands, homie. A lot of blood in your hands. Like, I don't know. You might get the I don't given all of this shit. Like, you didn't do it yourself, but you oversaw it. You might get a look. You're out. You might get an application for the Hitler Wing of Hell. Just saying. Lot of blood on them British hands.
Application.
Lot. Of,
I'd be surprised they're not having tea right now.
well, not because again, she didn't do it. This ain't like remember it's the Hitler Wing of Hell because Hitler himself was like, yeah, bake all of them. She didn't do it,
Oh, but
but
she benefit
it's
off
on
that
your
shit.
watch. It's
Oh
on your
no,
watch.
no, oh no. She benefit off that shit to the extreme, especially that generational wealth that is. So y'all having tea together, it's okay.
But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't, it gets dicey because you can't, as we all know, you don't get to
They
choose your
have
parents.
influence. They have influence. Still, is it directly the monarch it was hundreds of years ago? No. But as you know, who runs the world? The leaders. What is the royal family? The definition of an elite
The elitist
family,
of the elite,
the
the
elite
elitist
of
of the
the
elite.
elite. So if they act like they didn't have influence or didn't have some say in this shit is a fucking lie. So yes, she's having tea with Hitler and whoever the fuck else is down there.
We gonna get some hate emails from this one, boy.
I don't give a
Um,
fuck.
I
Good.
mean, just for instance, right? This isn't an atrocity per se, or is it? The largest diamond ever found is the Cullinan diamond. It was found in 1905 in Premier Mine Number 2 in Cullinan, South Africa. It is thusly named after the owner of the mine. I'll give you three guesses. What race was the person on the mine? And I certainly don't think they were like Nigerian black. Just saying. That diamond was summarily bought, stolen. Um, and I'll give you three guesses whose scepter the biggest chunks of that diamond are located in. Oh, that's right. That would be Queen Elizabeth. Now,
So forever.
I'm just curious. Now you're dead. Where's that diamond gonna go? And
Fast
it's
now.
amazing when you start thinking about. So yeah, he was a villain, but remember that opening scene where we first saw Killmonger? And he was breaking it down like, so I'm going to take these. And you had to remind her, like, where did you think your people got them from? You think they paid a fair price? And this is case in point. Like, you got this out of a
Hmm. There we go again. Hmm.
we
Can
back
you hear me?
on. Hey, yeah,
Yep.
check 1 2. We back in.
Yep.
All right, cool. My apologies to the folk there. We had a little tech issue, but we're back at it. Um, you got this out of a diamond mine that you owned. And like I said, we go back to what Killmonger said. And then the other thing is, before he went way off the deep end, Kanye, I hate to say black Kanye, so I will say conscious Kanye. Conscious Kanye had this song Diamonds Are Forever, where he shed a light on diamond mines in Sierra Leone, little kids pretty much losing limbs, digging for diamonds, so on and so forth. Give you three guesses who own those mines. And I'm just curious. So now that she's dead, are they gonna run the jewels? Literally run the jewels? Because you kind of stole that. You want send that
Not
back?
kind of. You did. But yeah. I don't know what else is to say that you can't log in Twitter that hasn't been said. The joke's right itself. But um yeah, I don't really have no sympathy for her. Good riddance. Like I said, I don't know who else. Most death impacted people this much. Yeah, probably you mentioned it, probably Kevin Samuels, but it was more divided. This is just like clear cut, like everyone is on the same page.
They're not, but see, that's the thing. They're not though. I was watching ESPN, and they shut down the golf tournament because she died. There's been a lot of British
I'm
athletes.
talking. I'm see. I'm not talking about the coon ass niggas. I'm talking about like the actual people, like the actual regular folk, not the big networks and all that. Of course, they're gonna do the diplomatic bullshit thing. I get that. And Russell Wilson, you had everybody on your side. Shut the fuck up. But um, yeah, it was like it wasn't. It's not really the, and at least among black Twitter and black people for the most part, it's not divided. Like Kevin
No,
saying, it was clearly a divide. It was half and half. This one, nah, it's like anybody gives praises to people. Is turn your comments off, my boy. It's gonna get ugly, and and like I said, people on the internet, I guess especially racist, or if you've done something real crazy, are gonna hold receipts and just let it fly. See, I wonder what happens when R. Kelly dies. Boy, that's gonna be a great day.
yeah, there's no getting around that. I guess the question, I guess the question, excuse me, is when R. Kelly dies, because usually when a musician or artist dies, you celebrate their art. I don't think they're gonna play shit of his.
I think they will.
No, there's no way.
Yes, it will. People still
Put
listen to
it.
shit now.
I mean, you playing it, not you, of course, but you playing it in the privacy of your car and a major Spotify playing that, bruh, they will lose a billion. They will lose like half their subscribership right off top.
Not anymore. You'd be surprised how much support he still has. The Boondocks had that right. They were right. And the Boondocks were right about the other shit that I said. But yeah.
All right, and in a matter of you might want to shut the fuck up. So let me make sure I get this right. Um, Reading this right off of as soon as my computer decides to cooperate. But there's a African professor who had a tweet that said, "I heard the chief monarch of a thieving, raping, genocidal empire is finally dying." It's Uju Anya, associate professor of second language acquisition at Carnegie Mellon University. May her pain be excruciating. So Jeff Bezos is bum ass. Jeff Bezos, the richest man on the planet, third richest man. I'm
now,
sorry,
yeah, not anymore.
third richest. Quoted a tweet and wrote, "And this is someone supposedly This is someone supposedly working to make the world better. I don't think so. Wow." You should have shut up because what I saw, some of the responses I saw was like, "Wait until it's your turn." I'm like, "Oh damn, oh damn." That's what I've always said. I ain't clever enough to be on Twitter. The clapback game is like
Uh, you got
expert level.
you gotta have thick skin and the greatest comebacks of all time. Because boy,
It is expert level roasting. Like I'm trying to
it
get the
is.
rest of it in here, but it is bad, yo.
It is.
But it's like there seems to be, like you said, honestly, there seems to be division. There are certain people who rock with this and are really affected by her death. And then there's a lot of people who understand history, and it's like, look, you gotta kind of, you can't just pick and choose morality.
We do it all the time.
Not when you understand history. The easiest now, again, I'm a firm believer in sometimes what they say, ignorance is not an excuse, but I do understand a lot of people want to remain blissfully ignorant. People like to remain blissfully ignorant. Like the biggest piece of ignorance in this country
The
was with
Matrix.
Cap. Well, was Kaepernick. You're disrespecting the flag. You're disrespecting the anthem. You're blissfully ignorant because if you actually knew the entire song, you understand it literally spoke of slaves. You're blissfully ignorant because you don't understand when that quote unquote flag was created, black folks were still enslaved. So you're
You're
being
blissfully
blissfully,
ignorant.
willfully
You
ignorant.
ain't even have to get that deep. You're blissfully ignorant because he told you what he was protesting. He literally
Still,
said out his own mouth. It's not like we had to left for an interpretation. After he did it, he said why he did it, and he had nothing to do with the flag.
uh,
So yeah, you didn't even have to have used critical thinking skills. That was just common sense right there.
like,
So
ooh, and this, yeah, looking at now, it's trying to come up for me. She wasn't dead yet, but she responded back to old Bezos. When another, oh, someone else asked, why would she wish Elizabeth dead? She was dying at the time, not dead. She was like, I'm not wishing her dead. She's dying already. I'm wishing her an agonizingly painful death, like the one she caused for millions of people. If anyone expects me to express anything but disdain for the monarch who supervised a government that sponsored the genocide that massacred and displaced half my family, the consequences of which those alive today are still trying to overcome, you can keep wishing upon a star. So it goes back to, I don't know. I don't know if she
not
gets
very
that hit.
Christian.
I don't know if she gets the Hitler wing hell because you just oversaw it. You didn't.
Okay, all right,
Oh,
okay.
that's the
Oversaw.
trick.
No, you were the boss. You were the boss. You're the captain. What do captains
Hmm.
do? You control everything. If
Right.
if she wanted to, she could have said no, or that family said, "Nah, we ain't doing that." What they want to do? Say no? Okay then.
Yeah.
They benefited
Because
off the shit.
and for
Clearly.
and let's think about this for a second. This professor was born in Nigeria. Nigeria was a British fucking colony until 1960.
She was alive during that
Africa,
time.
Africa, or Kebulan, for those of you who know, has been around since, I don't know, literally the beginning of time. Literally the beginning of time. And for a good stretch, it belonged to Britain until 1960. How does that happen? Oh, never mind. I think we know how that happened. I think we know how that happened.
Oh, it's
But
well, there's still people saying it still kind of does belong to Britain, but
just,
you
I'm
know,
sorry. I just so all right. So I'm just gonna say it out loud. I can't. I'm not trying to tap dance. I'm trying to, as always, as I try to do here, is present both sides of something. But there is no other side.
right, what side is
If there's a human side to this, if there's a side that, all right, I get it, everyone's bashing it, bashing it, bashing it. Let's look at it. Let's see if there's something there. Is there a side there? Is there an angle that we might be missing? No, there isn't.
it's
There's
not
no.
it's no angle. This is as
Yeah,
clear cut as it's gonna get. Like, I don't know what's worse. Like, well, outside of Hitler, of course, but this is as clear cut as it gets.
because ironically, unlike the Catholic Church, the Pope that's the Pope now has really tried to address things like the sexual abuse, things like homosexuality, and change the direction ever so slowly of the church. Right? I'm not. What comes next? Elizabeth is dead. What comes next? Are
You
you
can't.
going to return the article stolen?
No,
You
you're
going to
not.
start dishing out some reparations? I'm just curious what comes next.
That's not happening. They're being sued for that stuff. If I'm being heard correctly, right?
I believe so. I did a little homework on it, but
Yeah,
I believe
I
so.
mean, but I say that's by force. That's not like here. I'm just gonna give it to you. That's yeah. I'm being sued, so I gotta pay up.
That's
But
bad. That's just so.
that's what
Yeah,
we should
I'm
do.
sorry. I
Like
just
American
don't.
suit should do that.
We should. I just don't. I don't have the sympathy of And remember, I live in Britain's bastard child of a country now, and it looks like they picked up some of the ways their parents. Again, this imperialism, this expansion, this we want to own some shit that we ain't got no business owning. We gonna take shit we ain't got no business taking. Like, why is Alaska a state? And then you realize, Sarah Palin can see Russia from her window. Joke that's not exactly a joke, but it's like you start looking at strategic places. Why do we have bases in so many countries next to countries that don't serve American interests? So, you know, mother taught the kid pretty well. if I do
Yeah.
say so myself.
Use the same tactics that the Brits use. I think either Indian that the Americans use in Vietnam. No, we all know Vietnam. So yeah, they're
This
great.
is
Favorite
so
child.
yeah. You're not gonna see me muster up sympathy. One, I never like what the royal family did. Never affected my
I
life one way or the
still
other.
don't care.
I did like Lady Di, but two, like when you, it is just the thing with me, and this honestly is what makes it hard to talk to people on a regular basis. When you don't have a concept or a grasp of history, I can't really talk to you about so much because you're speaking from a place of ignorance about certain topics, and that's what's hard. That's what makes it hard for just basic conversation. Because I don't do small talk. I don't care about the weather. I don't care about your kids, your dog. I don't care. If we're gonna talk, I want to walk away from the conversation thinking maybe you took something from it, and maybe I can take something from it. And sports and other bullshit don't move me. So having conversations even about heavier topics, it's like, do you have an understanding of basic history? And I find a lot of people in this country either don't, or as we just talked about, it's willful ignorance. It's, well, what about black on black crime? Dumb shit like that. It's I like, and I can't even talk to you. Like you're, I can't even
It's a
talk to you.
real problem. We need to solve that.
Uh, and you can make that argument, but I ain't seen a headline about why I don't like crime. But anywho,
The biggest argument, of course. Yeah.
speaking of black on black crime and how we solve it and crime in general, pivoting now to more interesting news of primarily white people, the Oath Keepers. Ooh. All right, so I will say this because I had to do a little bit of homework. There was a leak last week that detailed how there's oath keepers all up and down law enforcement, judges, I think the senator, and I'm like, well, shit. Do I need to be concerned? Like, who are the oath keepers now? And I will say this first: if there's an oath keeper out there who gets wind of this show and wants to be a guest and set the record straight, we're open for it. We're absolutely open for it. But the very first thing, now again, asterisk, this comes off the wiki page or Oath Keepers. They are an American far right anti government militia whose members claim to be defending the Constitution of the United States started in 2009. That right there kind of tells me a lot of things I already need to know. It's that weird space with a lot of these militia and anti government groups. I fucks with you because you're anti government. And I guess in a way, maybe anti law enforcement, even though you are law enforcement. But when we get to that whole enforce the Constitution part, that's where you lose me. And like we talked about off air a moment ago, the 13th Amendment is in the Constitution. Yes, by default, so the loophole. So I'm like, and y'all are in some very interesting places. Y'all in government, in law enforcement, which means you are in positions of power to affect certain things, like whether or not I live or die from a fucking traffic stop, I, what kind of sentence I get. Now, none of this shit has anything to do with the Constitution, unless you remember the Constitution was written by a whole bunch of racist white guys. Then it gets a little wavy hand. Those who aren't watching, wavy hand. It gets a little shaky. But were your reaction? Were you shocked? Surprised? When you found out this leak happened and these mofo's is all up and down law enforcement, government? What you thinking there?
Dang, so they got the white flag, with the people with the hoods all up in there. They still exist in there. And then you got these guys. So it's like, are y'all on the same team or y'all like against each other? That's what I want to know. But I don't know. Maybe I was thinking like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But
Yeah, maybe.
even with that, it's like you said, you're trying to uphold the Constitution. I'm trying to break that bitch down. Unless you're of the mindset of the Constitution, you're willing to, update it and add stuff. Because, times have changed. Like I said, the Constitution was written when we weren't, classified as citizens. So there's that. Um, so yeah, we need to know details on like what part of like the Constitution like you really rocking with. Is there still some shit in there that makes no damn sense, or can be very vague and only apply to one group of people? So
Mm.
if you're saying you want the Constitution to be for everyone, then I guess I can rock with you if we update it and let this system fall. But if not, if you just want status quo how it used to be, then nah. If anything, we use you when the war comes, and then you get a bullet to the head too. So, and then we be good. But other than that, I can't really think of anything other than the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's it. I don't know if that makes you allies, but that doesn't mean you trust them. It's just like
Yeah, because
ends to a means, and then once the means is done, then we have a situation. So
and it's
that's
like it, what I'm trying to figure out, and I can't definitively say is this the equivalent of having white sheets in your closet? And I can say I don't know. But is this the equivalent of, oh wow, look who we found with white sheets in their closet?
what I'm
And for
saying.
those who don't get the reference, if anyone doesn't catch the reference, this is are these like is this like the clan? Is this like the clan light, diet clan? I don't know.
I
And
don't know
because
yet.
right, and because I don't know that definitively, I'm gonna lean more with this could be problematic. Why are you all throughout law enforcement in certain places like that branch of government? A senator, so you have people who make laws. Law enforcement, now you have people who enforce law. It's enough to raise more than an eyebrow for me. If because your infiltration of the law and the hammer that enforces the law is alarming.
Judge Dredd. Damn, we good at. Oh, that's a real literal.
It's alarming, and I'm like, I don't know. My level of alarm should be a 5 or 10. I don't know, but history tells me it should probably be closer to 10 than 5. But it's just further to me evidence. If anyone out there still clings to that, well, not all cops are bad. Sheesh. One
Okay.
as always,
Cool.
but, but quite a few of them are oath keepers apparently. Quite a few very well may have white sheets. Quite a few might have got their ass up in high school and still mad about it. So the percentage that are not bad, I'd love someone to ballpark that for me. Because I'm going with, yeah, I don't know, 2%. So 2 out of every 100, I actually wouldn't worry about much. But no, that's just it's. If I gotta put my level of alarm somewhere, I'm gonna say it's about a 7, not a 5, not quite a 10. It's a 7, and that is only because I haven't done more digging. But when I see far extremist right wing group, because then they want to say Antifa is a far extremist left wing. I'm like, there's no such thing. But anywho, it's just like I said, I need to know how close is this to finding white sheets in the closet, and I'm thinking it ain't that far from. it ain't it ain't far enough away for my comfort. So yeah, let's see what happens from there. All right. So now we're going to the black side of things. And no laughing matter, Jackson, Mississippi, the capital of Mississippi, has a water crisis. It has been brought to light. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, NFL Hall of Famer, professional shit talker, coach of Jackson State, one of the greatest, probably the greatest cornerback to ever live, right?
Is undisputed. Good.
His players had to, be moved out of dorms. A whole bunch of stuff happened because there is literally no clean water in Jackson. So I took a look, see like what was alarming to me is like, okay, you say, hey, maybe there's an issue right now. Maybe treatment plant, something happened. Well, apparently something's been happening. And that's where it's like, oh shit, this is normal. Read an article. Let me make sure I cite it properly. But an older black gentleman, was talking about how he's 70 years old. This is from this is the other weird part. I forgot. We talked about this offline too. The article I'm reading that seemed to be the most accurate or most, didn't mind telling the truth is from the BBC, British Broadcasting Company. How ironic. I actually want to read a BBC article on the Queen's death and see how honest they be there. But anywho, and just fun fact: if you want to find something true about America, read the BBC. Ah, but they're saying this has been going on for decades. That there's always been some degree of boiling water advisory. This gentleman is speaking on how you turn the water on. It's which shade of brown are you going to get today? Now, here's where this becomes a real fun part. There's no saw an article that said there's no water in Jackson, like not even bottled water for a while. The gentleman in this article was too poor to travel to the few places that had bottled water. So what is he doing? He's stuck drinking groundwater because there's no light and electricity to boil the water. You're pretty much drinking poison. This stems back to redlining and the inability of, black folks all being stuck in a certain area, which tends to be relatively poor. We're going way back now, 60s, so on and so forth. And environmental racism. And we thought about this. If you want to find toxic waste, look for the poor neighborhoods. If you want to find, there's a spot in Louisiana called Cancer Alley, where like these black people have the highest level of cancer rates in the country because of their proximity to certain plants. I just started the basics. How does a major American city, the capital of the fucking state, have no clean water? How? Come on. Just make it make sense for me. If I'm the governor of Mississippi, I'm calling the fucking mayor and we're gonna have a nice little chat. You're gonna make this shit make sense for me. Okay? How does a major American city, capital of Mississippi, have no fucking water? And I'm thinking, sadly, like get this, until Deion Sanders in football made an attention, I had no clue. So there's that part. There's that angle. Sports,
Yeah,
yet again.
I think I've seen some regular, people mention it, but it's not national news. That's crazy. Uh, oh yeah, have the same, well, not to that level, but water problems here in Baltimore. I love it. But I mean, I don't know what you do.
You start digging. What is the one thing I told you growing up, sir? If you want answers to a problem, first thing you do is what? Follow the
Follow
money.
money,
Okay.
yeah, I got that. But um, I don't care,
Apparently,
bro. What? What?
apparently one of the issues in Jackson is the money is not going where it's supposed to go. Money gets dished out to people, and that money goes into the pockets of their constituents. The water treatment plant is not one of those things because it is primarily what Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, is 90% black. Real easy to pay it no attention. We got a whole bunch of poor black folk. I've always argued back then everyone was pissed off about what happened with Katrina and New Orleans, so on and so forth. I said this is that weird place where race and class meet. You have to remember something. On average, there's a lot of poor folk who get public assistance, which means by default you don't pay taxes, and sometimes they don't vote in local elections, just major elections. So that's what two things: you don't vote, you don't pay taxes, so you don't show up on a politician's radar. And I'm like, if this would have happened to a poor white city, you'd got the same result. Don't vote, don't pay taxes.
Yeah, it's
But
poor, but also you're on the sea level, so that's a whole other subject. But yeah, and
yeah, but
the conspiracy
yeah,
that was planned on purpose. But we're not
I
gonna
mean,
get into that.
yeah, I'm about to say there's way too many
That's
people
that could
that.
be a show for itself. So,
Mm,
like I said, the hurricane ain't the one that did the damage. It was actually cover for what really did. But I digress on that. That's a whole nother subject. But which will be even more fucked up in another slant on America's long list of stains that you can't wash off.
Oh yeah.
But um, yeah, like I said, we have both issues. Class is probably number one because that is a global thing, not just an America thing, and race, which is in this country. Well, actually, the world too, but mostly this country because this is where we live. Um, is a huge factor too. They both are. They are intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
But um, yeah, being poor and black is yeah, that's the worst thing that could happen to
Well, it's like a double whammy because being poor is problem point A. Like you're gonna get shit on to a certain degree if you're poor anyway.
you.
Being
Yeah.
poor and black,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
that's like double whammy. That's double whammy. But like you said, I'm again reading the article. They said they've not gone a month without having a boil water notice or low to no water pressure in the last 2 years. So this has been going on since 2020. 2020, my G. Oh, if I'm the governor, get your ass on the phone right now. We got a nice little chat. I'm thinking to myself, if I'm a politician, you might want to start lawyering up because now it's going to get dug in. I could be wrong, but I'm sure it's going to get dug into. And we're going to start following where the money went that was supposed to go to the treatment plant.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you're saying the money didn't go there, so where is it?
That's the fun part to find out. That's going to be real fun part to find out. So where'd the money go? It's like if I send you money to get A, B, and C done, I'm thinking you got A, B, and C done. I turn around, it's not done. Because if you're smart, the next piece of this puzzle is going to be a class action lawsuit or a civil suit from the citizens. So somebody's head is about to roll. if you, I'm hopeful somebody's head is about to roll. You don't pull this shit off for years, and now it's brought to light. You think, oh, okay. So let's see whose palms was greased. Let's see what prostitutes were bought. You know what trips were paid for. But I think somebody's head is about to roll.
It's gonna have to. If money's missing and then go to where it's supposed to go to. If you poisoning your own people.
Yeah.
Well,
Now here's the sad reality. The last time we seen something of this scale, which was Flint, Obama took his ass up there, faked a drink of water, and went to lunch with the CEO of the fucking company that caused all this. So,
I said, do they even still have clean water?
bingo.
Like I said, I didn't mention it because it's like that's the running joke now. That's not a joke, but I'm just saying clean water for like a long time.
hmm
So
Like
we
Obama
in
was
times anyway.
two presidents ago. I would hope, but yeah.
Yeah, one of them
And
times.
shout out to Clarissa Shields, Flint native, about to fight tomorrow night. Let's go, baby. Knock that chick out. Since we gotta just want to get that plug in there, awesome black woman. So shout out to Clarissa Shields. Do it for Flint. Um, but yeah, this is wild. I forgot about that. You're right. Does Flint that and it's sad that's a legit question. Still, does Flint have clean water? So not only does Flint possibly not have clean water, now we have another major black city with no water. Like water pressure that you can actually pee harder than. Like, how are you supposed to drink that? How are you supposed to wash? I,
You can't say
yeah.
move because might not have the money to move, especially
Bingo.
inflation now.
Bingo.
Boy, end times is nice, man. It's nice and right, boy. I love it.
It's just like wow, man, and it's just capitalism though. And I don't know. I look at capitalism in a very interesting way. I get, for us
Oh,
folk, it always comes back to
been into
Jay.
a system, right? Ain't that what you said? Hell no.
Capital. The funny thing is, this is about I'm not an econ major, but capitalism could work if not for the other isms. I don't know if you can have capitalism without the other isms. If capitalism was truly a meritocracy, you do this thing, you work hard, you reap the benefits. On its face, cool. See, the problem is the other isms, the sexism, the racism,
Classism.
favoritism, the nepotism. I don't know about classes.
Class. You do know about class because that's what this all is based on. There is no capitalism without poor people. It does. It just doesn't work.
Well, here's the thing. The reason I say I don't know about classism is because it's present now because of the other isms. But on its face, it says, look, if I put in the work, right, I'm going to
It
build
is
my
a
business. I'm going to make this money, and you don't put in the work. Me being rich is because I put in the work and you didn't. So our class difference is because I put in the work, I grew my business, you didn't. That's not on me. That's not a built-in piece of capitalism. It's I did the work, I built my business, I got paid, you didn't. Your class is your fault. If
you
you
get
did the
paid.
work,
Okay, no,
if you
because
did the work, you would be in this class. The
it's
problem
not
is,
true.
oh, currently, right now it's not. No, classism is
That's
a
never true.
result of the other isms.
True.
Because of the racism, I'm going to get rich. You're not. And now we have a class system. But in and
Yeah,
of
but
itself,
there was always wait. This is why I don't agree with you. There was always poor white people, even back then.
right.
So, but I'm saying like that's why I said race definitely plays a huge part, especially terms for us. Of course, race is a huge thing. Racism is yes for black. Yes, I'm still why I'm debating classism is because, like I said, the elite are elite. They don't care. That's well, I can't say I don't care. They just need people to be poor to a certain extent for this shit to run. It doesn't matter what race you are. We can all be purple tomorrow. We're still gonna have a class problem.
Okay.
So that's why because that's what we've been saying. It's like, yeah, race is a huge stain that is still valuable, but class is the ultimate thing. Like I said, 5% should not control the whole mass of the entire planet.
I
That
agree with
that
you.
is shepherd and sheep with a few wolves
Agree.
plucked in that get fucking put down. So it's like,
Agree.
so that's why I'm saying we can all be the same race, the whole planet, and we will still have this problem. And if there
Agree.
is capitalists involved, capitalism itself, considering how everything is looped in, especially in this country, I don't know all the other countries, but I know how everything's looped in with terms of banks, police force, governments, um, prisons, education, food, agriculture, all that shit is all tied together. And you need poor people for that shit to work. And then you need to feed the poor people the dream of being rich for that shit to work. Because what you just say, I work hard, I'm gonna be rich. You don't, you're not. Not knowing that every situation is different, every person is different. There's all types of circumstances, environment, mental, your body, like everything ties into that quote unquote working hard bullshit they want you to do. You really think CEOs are working fucking hard? Or they have people to work hard and take the credit. That's why I'm like, I just like stop it.
But you kind of,
On the
but that's my
surface, it
point.
sounds good. You work. This is not like bodybuilding where literally it is designed by where you're working on. If I don't do push-ups, do this, that, and the third, I'm not gonna gain muscle. That's true. See, that's where the equivalent of what you're saying works. Okay, if you don't work hard, you're not going to get the results you want in your body. But certainly, we've all worked jobs. I'm pretty sure we have all worked hard, and nothing's changed. You've probably kissed a ring or two. We've all have. Nothing's changed. Are we rich? No, I'm not. Maybe you are. I'm not. So,
No, but
but that's why I said the matrix is really real, and capitalism is great, and this is why it needs poor people and needs them to be stupid. It's because, like, how do you control the masses? Like I said, the matrix said, you fear and desire. And what did you literally just name fear and desire all in one? I work hard, I'll get this. That's desire. If I don't, I'll be poor. That's fear.
one day I got to finish watching Matrix 4. But yes, you are correct. But no, I'm just saying this does make for, and I don't want to get too far off base, but it does make for an argument. Class is a byproduct, not a intent of capitalism. Ideally, when it works the way it's quote unquote supposed to, I'm in a different class than you because I worked harder than you. My business idea was better. To say, I work, I came with an idea, I cultivated it, I worked on it. Now I make $1 million. You make $20,000 because you didn't build an idea, you didn't cultivate it, the market forces didn't work for you.
All right.
Now this is completely ignoring every other ism
I
that
get.
goes along with that. But yeah,
I'm saying for America, it's very present on what you're saying, but the rest of the world, like you can say
mhm,
India, where they have a classism, they're all relatively same thing,
right.
but it has nothing
Okay.
to do with race, particularly. That's literally class. Like the rest of the world, China, whatever places where the majority is not a whole lot of other races.
But it's
For
also not
poor, that's
capital. But
that
it's
had.
also not capitalist.
I mean, I
That's
get you, but I'm just
yeah.
saying in general, class is a huge fucking thing. And I think in capitalism is too. The other isms matter as much as you said, of course. But I still think, like you said, we both agree. We turned out beige. Everyone turned beige today. The system will still need the people that wherever class they're in to stay there. And of
Right.
course, we'll have some anomalies to keep you interested and motivated to get there.
Yeah, it's
You'll
like
never,
Vegas. That one person that hits the jackpot on the slot machine, that's one person out of how many though? But because that one person hit, you think you next. But yeah.
yeah, it works. Like I said, I hate the system, but I respect it. It's
Yeah, if you can
diabolical.
remove the feeling of it, yeah, it is diabolical as shit. Okay. All right. So, the last piece of this puzzle. Yeah, yeah. So Tiffany Haddish, I'm not gonna do that. Let me reverse. Aries Spears and Tiffany Haddish have been named in a lawsuit in regards to a anti-pedophile skit that they did, I do believe, back in 2018, which is it cringy is not the word. I don't know if you've seen any of it. I couldn't
Nope,
stomach it.
don't want to.
Couldn't stomach it. And it's one of those the same way we talk about these white companies. Was there no black person in the room when you did this? I
I mean, it was two.
even though they are black, but that's
Come
what I'm saying.
on.
Even though they are black, I still gotta ask the question: was there no other black person in the room when y'all did this? Because I'm
I
the
mean, dude,
participants in the video. Young boy, he's not young anymore. I think they're older now, obviously. But they're suing for distress, mental distress, and so forth. And believe me, if I'm sure it might have been yanked by now, but if anyone who's seen the video, I can see where it's troubling. Um, and one of the things that bothers me, and it might seem like nuance, but you have to pay attention to how fucking tricky the media is. Anytime you even bring this up, Tiffany Haddish's face and name come up first. And based on what I saw, the biggest offender in all of this was Aries' ass. Honestly. Now, I used to kind of fuck with Aries Spears because he was funny as shit on Mad TV. He's got some of the greatest impressions, like his Jay Z impressions is like spot on. Well, a couple weeks ago, he decided to just air out Lizzo for no reason. I'm like, yeah, now you're part of the Ashy Dude crew. No one asked you, like these
yeah,
dudes
no
is
one really asked him.
like, it's like, yo, like I just like, yeah, nobody asked you, bro. So there was that, and now a couple weeks later, your ashy ass is the main star in this the most pedophile, excuse me, the most pedophilic, anti-pedophile video ever, and it's like no one thought this was a bad idea. Now, to our knowledge, they didn't, he didn't touch the little boy, so on and so forth. And at the end of it all, it was, watch you leave your kids with. And while all of these things were going on, R. Kelly was playing in the background. I don't see nothing wrong with bump and grind. And I'm like, I is one of those. I get where you were trying to go, but you missed so badly, so bad.
I don't know. From the way that people, like I said, I didn't see any of the videos. I'm just going over what people described the shit was. It sounded like it was some touchy going on. So, or some form of molesting, not maybe all the way through, hopefully not. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, this is bad on both ends for both. That's it. I get the message. You was gonna do a skit like that, did you have to use actual kids? You could have just used adults. We got the point.
Something.
But
But
yeah.
yeah, it was horrible. And Tiffany has made a statement on her IG. Excuse me, y'all. Allergy season is upon us. Tiffany has made a statement on her IG, and she explained how I got questions. I know y'all want answers, but it's a legal case. I can't really say much. Blah blah blah. Blah. But I'm just curious how does this excuse me how is this how did you clear this up? Like I'm curious as to say what could you possibly say? Like even if because sometimes if I understand actors sometimes don't see the full product until it's edited, put together, blah blah blah. So sometimes when you're watching a movie, they're in the theater, they're the first time they're seeing the entire product as well, right? But as you're shooting this, it doesn't like nothing clicked, nothing clicked. Like this didn't seem. But we'll see how this plays out. But I think pretty much for Aries, for between the Lizzo incident and this is pretty much career suicide. You're done. And I mean, to the credit of the people, if I'm not mistaken, we ain't seen Michael Richards, aka Kramer, one of the most iconic characters in TV, since he lost his shit and started tossing out N words on stage. Career suicide. um, so you can quote unquote get canceled. This is one of those cases where I think cancel culture is going to work their magic. I think there's an outside shot that we see Tiffany again, and it's just I really do feel bad for her because to know Tiffany's history, to know that she was homeless and all the shit she went through as a kid, like to have it come crashing down like this, it really suck ass. But I don't know how you go through with this whole video and not like, hey, let me see the finished product real quick. Let me when you done cutting that up and editing it, let me see what that looks like because just sensitive material. I just want to make sure but they call it Holly weird for a reason. And sadly, pedophilia and Holly weird go hand in hand. One of the Corys tried to tell. I keep forgetting it's a Hammer Feldman. I apologize. One of the Corys has been trying to tell us for years. It ain't just the Weinsteins trying to get head on a casting couch. They prey on little boys too. So, but your last thoughts on? Excuse me, last thoughts on this?
Hmm?
Hey, what are your last thoughts, sir, on this one?
Yeah, those fucked up. It might have cost you something.
Yeah, I don't see how Aries comes back from this. I see a small sliver of hope that Tiffany does,
I doubt it
but
because people don't like her anyway. So
which
this was
now
just
see
a
that
good read.
part. Now that part is weird to me. The hate on Tiffany is just weird, but okay.
I don't know. They just say she's not funny. I don't know. I don't really listen. I never, because all the other quote unquote legends kind of shit on her too. It's like, well, some of it's constructed criticism, some of it's just shit though. It's like, well, yeah, she's not one of us because she hadn't done it like us. But she does kind of play the same role every day. But so does Kevin Hart. I'm Kevin Hart, so and people tired of him
Uh,
too. So yeah.
Actually, that's not true. Kevin Hart played a completely different. Has
Yeah,
some more range
recently I
to him.
heard that, but for the most part, if you've seen one movie he's in, he's gonna be the same thing. But damn near same there with the Rock, which is kind of funny. But make him freaking but
Shut up,
yeah,
Black Adam. Can't wait. Okay, continue.
that looks good. Yeah, yeah, I watch it.
My anticipation level was a 10. It's now at 8.5 because I did see the most recent trailer, and I'm like, there is no reason for any movie to have shitty special effects in this day and age. But I'm
Hey,
sorry,
go
get off
watch
track there.
Thor.
Get out of it. Oh no. Oh no. You didn't say it had shitty special effects, sir.
Oh, it did. I mean, MCU kind of recently had shitty. I gave it a pass because it's the shows, it's not a movie, so I don't know what their budget is. But Yeah, Thor. It was bad to the point they fixed it. I don't know if they fixed it for Disney Plus, but they fixed it for DVD. Some of the effects. So yeah, it's Marvel is just. I guess they're saving their money for the bigger movies. I guess.
Black Panther 2 is coming. Can't wait. Okay,
Yeah,
we didn't
especially
really
with some
got off
trash out.
there. So the running back recap. Um, yeah, it ain't no sunshine. I got nothing for the queen. Sorry, I got a list of reasons why I don't got nothing for the queen. Um, I'm a little indifferent, for lack of a better term. Like it's just another day. Like oh, okay. Um, 'cause she's just a cog in the whole machine. So I'm curious what happens next, like we said. But as far as sympathy, I got nothing either way. Um, the Oath Keepers. My concern level is a 7. I don't know how close you guys are to having white sheets. And again, the invite is open. If you'd like to come on this platform and clarify, or if I've misquoted, or want to change the narrative, the inbox is open, the comment section is open. Let us know. We set that up for you. But right now, my concern level is a 7 because y'all in some real interesting places with some real interesting points of authority. So concern level is a 7. Um, Jackson. Yeah, heads are gonna roll. I hope heads are gonna roll. There's no way you have a major U.S. city without fucking water and no one know nothing. I feel like Nino Brown, New Jack City. Don't nobody know nothing. I'm looking around this table. Don't nobody know nothing. Don't nobody know where the water went. Nobody know where the money went. Oh, G Money definitely know. Let me stop.
No money,
Uh,
man.
G Money definitely knows something. Um, and I'm glad Baltimore's last report I read said the boil water notices in Baltimore have been pulled back. So I guess you guys got good water again. I'm going to tell you, old son of mine,
That's
continue to
West
drink bottled
Baltimore.
water.
No, that's West Baltimore.
Oh,
That's not well, man. That's West Baltimore and parts of South Baltimore. But
I
you know
suggest
who
you.
inhabits that?
I suggest you drink bottled water for the time being, sir.
I don't drink
Just
faucet water. I'm not you. My water dirty too. I got a filter, my boy.
there you go. And then last but not least, Aries and Tiffany. Aries, I think is over, man. You need to call it a career. Infamous words are big. Don't be mad. UPS is hiring. Um,
Am
I
I
don't know
getting
how this.
kitty? Is he in shape? I'm done. Oh,
And Tiff, I just know your story, and that is, sad but true. Aries is a little crusty. Tiffany, I'm like, you know what you had to lose. You know you got Kev Hart's cosign. You know what's on the line here. You did. I really do. Like, I hope she does a 2020 interview when all this is over. Because I'm like, I'm just curious. How did you not see that this was off? But your recap, sir.
I'm Britain. Hey, just die every day. Be all right. Yeah, tough, right? All right. Oath keepers. Yeah, I'm a 5 on the concern scale because I don't know. But like I said, maybe on the bright side, enemies, my friend, and nothing more, nothing less. Uh, Jackson, yeah, I don't know why I got. Well, I do know why it's like this, but you know, hopefully we find the money, like you said, and where it went, and somebody's head will fall, guillotine style. Learn that from our founding mothers and fathers in Britain. Uh, Tiff and Aries, yeah, they're probably done. Yeah, it's pretty much right. And it's karma for Aries though. Like Spoke Elizabeth did all this mysteriously just pops up. Yeah, because this happened years ago. So they just pulling receipts. This is why he can't piss off the hair that if you got dirt, because they gonna
I
find it.
mean, think
They the
about the
best
other
detectives on the planet, boy. I
think about the
swear.
other side too, though. So let's keep score. The Godfather, Captain Ashy himself, Kevin Samuels, talks greasy about Lizzo and blah blah blah. A couple weeks later, if he the Godfather, he met the real God. Aries,
That's it.
Aries, Aries talk greasy about Lizzo at the clear blue sky. A couple weeks later,
Rare did.
It's over, Brian. It's over, Brian.
You can't win.
So let this be a lesson, ashy black men.
Yeah, stop fucking
So
with him.
stop. Just let it go.
Let
Let it
it
go,
go.
fam.
Don't
Let it
say
go,
no.
fam. Like she got the protection of the ancients
Yes.
and the ancestors. She is
Yes.
anointed. Just let it
Let it go.
feel the need. Like you know what? Lil's a great girl. I love her music.
Yeah, she's
But what
great.
about? Oh no, I don't know anything about that. Now
Nope.
one, I'm Team Lizzo anyway. I'm Team Lizzo anyway. But for these ashy dudes that got
She's
something to
talented as
say,
hell. That's the truth.
but
Can't knock
for
her
the
talent. You can't.
for the ashy dudes who just feel a need, she fat. She got diabetes. She gonna die. No, don't do it. Don't do it because last person said she gonna be fat, die alone. Yeah. Yeah. Just
Yeah,
yes.
so like I said, his was unprovoked. He
Oh
tried to
yeah.
make a joke, but you didn't even make it funny enough. So it's just
Right.
like, yeah, it's just, yeah.
Just let it go, dog. It's over. But on behalf of my co-host and myself, thank y'all for tuning yet again to another episode of Yeah I Said It podcast. We will be back, same bat time, same bat channel next week. Peace.
Yeah.